guys, welcome back to another episode of Always Making. Thank you for joining us here in studio again. We've got another great guest, Jenni FooFoo. Appreciate you being here. We are continuing our spooky season artists, guests, creators, makers. Jenni, you have a very eclectic style and you've got very fun stuff that you do. We're going to get into that conversation with you just after we do some housekeeping real quick. If you guys haven't seen already, this whole month of October, we are doing spooky season artists and creators, makers, everything. So tune in, like, subscribe, follow so that you don't miss an episode of all of our fun creative guests.
And if you're local, make sure you head to Mill Creek Public Market because our stuff will be in a booth until October 20th.
Yeah, that is Craft Lake City's Maker Mart, DIY
Nice.
Maker Mart. Yeah. And so check that out. October 20th is the last day. That is also going to be, there's a spooky bazaar event
Halloween
that day
bazaar.
also. Yeah, so
on the 20th.
Definitely head out to that if you guys are local to the Salt Lake area.
So many fun fall activities.
I know, I love
Salt Lake City.
But that's all the housekeeping we have for now. Let's get into the conversation. So, Jenni, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm me.
Perfect.
Super nervous, super excited. I don't really like talking about myself, but it's for a good cause of art. So I can never shut up about that. I'm just really excited to be here, and I'm so grateful that you guys thought I was cool enough to be on your show.
You are an artist. You are very cool.
Well, I don't know.
Everybody we meet at shows and doing all their talent stuff and brave enough to put themselves out there in a vulnerable position, I think are extremely cool people because it takes a lot to just get started with what you are doing and with all our guests and everybody else out there who we haven't had on the show yet. Mm-hmm. Out there just presenting themselves in a vulnerable state. But we have you in this time of the year right now. We've been trying to get you on for a little bit and just schedules have been a little funky, but it works out perfect because your style of art is very creative, very eclectic, and it has a vibe. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, pretty much everyone always comes to the conclusion of creepy cute.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's always a little bit creepy, it's a little bit cute, and then it's like there's usually a surprise or something with my art. So it's always nice to get a shock value from the adults and have the kids clamoring over, and then it's vice versa when you see a 45-year-old man run over to your table, totally masculine, grabbing a plush and squeeingly hug it and say, I have to have it. Like it's bringing out their childhood, and I absolutely love it.
So how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing art my whole life. You couldn't keep me in paper as a kid. I would make things out of stick figures, plastic flowers, stones, pebbles, and anything that you could get your hands on that could be turned into something I did. But art-wise, I really didn't start until like selling stuff until about maybe like 2009, 2010, couple years before I moved here. But it was just like a couple Etsy sales when Etsy was great. When Etsy was for the handmade and the makers, and you know, it was really good for me to get my stuff out there and everyone was using it, and the great community. And then I moved out here, came out here for a 10-day vacation and then never left. And my wonderful boyfriend was encouraging. I was looking for part-time jobs, just trying to, you know, just help bring money into the house for everybody and, you know, be part of the household. And I was just doing art in the meantime because I couldn't find anything. And I'm making and making and making. And he's looking at me and he's just seeing how much fun I'm having doing it. And he's like, why don't you just make art? I'm like, well, I am. He's like, no. He's like, the part-time job thing is annoying. He's like, it's annoying because I have so many phone calls from so many places looking for, you know, my information because you put in applications. He's like, so let's just stop this and we'll just get you some art supplies. And that was it. It was, you know, we went out and we started thrifting for fabrics and stuff because I love repurposing everything. I use what I can from the stores that I have to, like the polyfill and like, stuff for like hypoallergenics for baby plushes and stuff. But like my creative stuff, I try to do as much upcycling as possible. And he was great. He would bring me to craft stores and he would help me, and he bought my tent and he helped me get my tables and just was really, really supportive. And just having that, tearing up, for the first time in like forever, just having that support was just everything I needed. And that's what started me to do it. I moved here in 2015. Right. Yeah. So Wednesday will be our 9-year anniversary. So yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah. So a lot goes on around it. Like my whole life is based around like my life here just with him and him being supportive, and just everything flows together, and I love it.
That's wonderful to hear.
So, oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, so we touched a little bit on the style of your art, but we didn't get too far into what you actually make and sell.
I make a lot. I have a problem where I want to gobble up everything. I want to learn.
Guilty.
I want to learn everything. I'm like, ooh, someone's doing that and someone's doing that. And I'm like, I want to learn how to knit and I want to learn how to sculpt and I want to, and it's just everything. I just want to soak it up. There's not enough time. There's not enough days. There's not enough years in the lifetime for all the different art that I want to learn, but I'm trying. I started off with sewing and drawing and doodling and tattoo design back in the day when I would do tattoo, when I worked at tattoo shops, and I would paint, learned how to do oil paint in high school. That got me into acrylics because they're way easier to use. I love oils and I appreciate people that use oils, but I can't. But I do a lot of painting. So painting can be anywhere from a upcycled ceramic or a half painted plush, or an oil and a regular, upcycled oil painting with my own character design. Then, there's sculptures and jewelry making and partial taxidermy and pretty much a little dabble of everything. Clothing, books, journals, anything that's creative that I can find a way to upcycle it, I will.
Yeah, your booth is filled with a variety of things that you can spend a couple good hours just seeing all the little details that
People
you put
come back.
into things. Yeah, people make loops. I was like, we had a booth right next to each other, and we could see like people would come in, look at your stuff, and then come back around, look at your, like a few different people kept making before they finally like made that decision. Okay, I'm gonna get this piece. Kind of
Yeah, like sometimes they'll be like, okay, like I like these two, like, but I don't know. And I'm like, well, I can put this one on hold. And then they're like, oh, okay. And then they come back and they're like, they find 3 other things to add to that one thing that they already bought. And it's like, and then they drag their friend over and their kid, and it's nice because you never see the same thing twice, because there's unfortunately I do make a lot of stuff and I always say, oh, that's never enough, and I wind up not being able to put out half the stuff I make because I make too much.
Is there repeat items that you make pretty consistently, or for the most part is each show something unique and different each time?
A little bit of both. If it's like a seasonal show, like randomly, like if it's a Christmas show, not my favorite holiday, but I do enjoy making creepy Halloween type scary Christmas stuff. Like I'll do like my limited run for that. If I do like, we used to do, Iconoclad used to have shows for the holidays and stuff. So I would do like 4 custom plush for the year, and I would only make 4, and those are the only 4 I'm ever going to make. And once they're gone, they're gone. And that was my limited series, and it would be like my higher priced item, but it was like the one thing that you could have. And I know a lot of people are like the fans that like really, really come back and repeatedly collect and collect and collect. They all want to get them, and they're all different. So I never make any 2 thing alike, but there are things that I do continually, like the VHS bookmarks, certain types of jewelry, specifically geek related or horror related. Just depends on the season, the holiday, but everything usually has like a spooky kind of cute vibe to it, because you never want to make anyone too upset, but you kind of want to make them question their sanity just a little bit.
So I mean, this might be already answered in the sense, but like, what is your influence for your art?
80s.
Okay, so the
80s sums up everything. 80s horror, 80s music, 80s fashion, VHS. Tell me something from the 80s that wasn't glorious. Not talking politics, I'm talking just culture.
I say
Pop.
I don't think cars from the 80s were that great.
I mean,
Oh, actually,
teach
no,
their
I
own.
mean, okay, I lied, because the car that I really want is an 87. So I mean, I guess
Yeah, see?
crap. Okay, I take
See?
that back. Yeah.
See, everything could come, not everything good, but majority of the good stuff comes from from the
I mean, we're
80s.
both from the 87, so
Yep.
I mean, the good
Yep.
stuff does come from the
82.
80s.
So yeah, 80s is a huge influence. I just love everything about it. My brother was 12 years older than me. Growing up with him would kind of like made me grow up a little bit more as far as music went. And, the 80s hair bands and love, obviously. The bright colors, the funkiness, that everyone thinks is the 80s is great. And I'm like, I love that vibe because it lends into like the 90s that led into the colorful cartoons since the end of Saturday mornings, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Beginning of the end. The best toys, the best colors, everything was just vibrant and fun and cool. And the games were great. All the movies and the comic books and everything that came out then, it's just everything is inspiring.
So that is where most of your influence comes from with that.
And like I said, it's 80s horror
Yeah.
was the best. 80s music, 80s pop, 80s fashion. Like it influences the style choices and the jewelry that I make, big and chunky and clunky and rainbow. And then, you have like the bone with the rainbow ice cream drip vomit on it. You know what I mean? Like it's just a little bit of dark with like that cute little bit. So it's like kind of like Lisa Frank
If she were
meets Frankenstein.
Yeah. So I want to get into the concept of the markets that you're doing. Like you've said about 2015, a little bit after that point, you got into all of it. So how many markets do you think you've done in this whole kind of artist career that you have?
Wow. Let's just say the Utah part, because that's when I really started blossoming. I've done like the high school craft shows that they did on the East Coast, but nothing really big. My first big show here was the Halloween and summer and hanging out with Spooks Boutique and getting into shows from them and taking my first step and going into Iconoclad and being in selling from there. And then that got me into shows. I did Fan X a couple of times. Which was a good experience. It's a little too pricey for me.
It is a higher price. We have done Fan X as well. So it can be
like
one of those ones.
FearCon.
Yeah.
I've done the expos. Like I've done shows that I've only done like 1 or 2 years and they're gone now.
Yeah.
But they were really great. I collect all of my, all of the tags and stuff like that, lanyards and everything. Like I think I want to say between like local shop shows, big things, events, expos, and then locally put on stuff. I don't know. I want to say like maybe like 100.
Okay. And
I mean, that sounds like it's not a lot, but it's like periodically, like, because of COVID and everything, that was, like 4 years of almost gone. Half the shows that were gone were before COVID, they're gone now and we don't do them.
So, I mean, theoretically, like doing math, I mean, that's doing just a little over one show a month. For about 10 years, roughly.
If you do it, a lot of them will culminate because they'll be around the Halloween.
Yeah.
Right. Like you got to think of like the big seasons, like around Christmas, they have a couple that, they have a bunch of them marked up. And then you have like the theme ones of Halloween and you don't really have them you have the Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that, but there's like other holidays and stuff that, you do little art for and, you strip them, but you don't have big shows. But mainly the big shows are always in the fall. And there's so many of them on so many weekends that like co-mingle and stuff. So it's really hard to pick and choose. And, you have 3 shows on one weekend. Which one are you going to do?
Yeah.
Now, it's been a while since your first show. But do you remember how it felt to do that first show?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It was Magna's Art on You Halloween and Summer. I got invited to do a booth with she was a local, my friend Meredith. She moved. She's a wonderful taxidermist. She's traveling all over the place doing that now, but she invited me to do it and we shared a booth and it was awesome. I still look at the picture back on Facebook memories when it comes up and I'm like, I saw this tiny little table with tiny little bits of stuff on it and a couple little things and just watching like my table progress from then is really great. But just that first show, it was scary because you don't know, like you go in and you're like, what if I don't make any money? What if no one likes my stuff? What if no one looks at it? And, you have all the usual like fears and you're like, you're trash. No one's going to like your stuff. And then people start looking and then people are like asking questions. And then you realize, oh, maybe there are like-minded weirdos that like my stuff. Maybe I do have a reason for living. Yes. But yeah, the first show, it really solidified that I wanted to do it. Nerves aside, anxiety aside, like it's just getting to see the people and seeing their reactions and just leaving with such like a proud moment. Money aside, like I could have made $5. I wouldn't have cared. I don't even remember how much I made, but I still have the first $2 bill. Yeah. That I have, like it's down in my office and stuff. Like I'm a sentimental fool. But yeah, it was just a really great experience for me, and it just pushed me to want to be more part of the community and just do more shows and get myself, stuff out there.
So your interactions with fans, customers, people who are just walking by, you have a little bit more experience than some of our other previous guests. A lot of the guests we've had on the show maybe only have a few years into this. Is there interaction that really stands out to you from like all the different shows?
Everyone I know. Honestly, the whole community is just filled with amazing, gracious, wonderful people, from the vendors to the coordinators to just the passerbys, the once lookers, the people that constantly come back, the repetitive, FooFoo buyers and collectors and stuff. There's never one experience over the other that just, they all melt my heart. All the little kids and the adults that turn into little kids, and just, it's a family, and it's welcoming, and having like, growing up with not a lot of places to feel like I belonged or I felt okay with, just being able to see friendly faces and know that I'm going to see those friendly faces again and again. There's just be kind, be friendly and kind.
It is still an interesting, like, reaction feeling that like I get confused with when you have customers that come back and they're at a completely different show, completely different venue or whatever, and they're like, oh, we saw you over there. Or like we just had an interaction where they're walking by and they're like, oh, they're telling their friends, this is where we got that art piece. And I'm like,
or like the woman who was wearing one of the tote bags and was like, oh, I just got this back from you last year.
Yeah, and like still wearing it around. I'm like, why? This is weird.
I have friends that'll send me screenshots of my stickers on people's bumpers.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
I've gone to shows and I get like screamed at. Like I get terrified because I'm the person I don't like to be seen. I am the girl that likes to be invisible in the corner of the dance that just watches people. But it's like people be like, I know you.
I've seen your stuff
like
online.
I bought your stuff, and you sell here and you sell there, and I bought this, and they're like, I'm like, yes. They're like, do you remember me? And a lot of times I will, because they have those expressions and stuff, but I have a lot of followers that are like that, and I'm like, that's how I know you. And I feel really bad because half the time I'm like, I don't remember your name. My name's easy. It's FooFoo. You can't forget it. And I'm just like, I know you, but I do remember what they bought. And it's like, it's encouraging because it's so nice. But it's just at the same time, it's like, I'm an imposter. I'm like, why are you? I don't want to be, like, why do you know me?
Yeah.
Because it's weird. You know what I'm talking about. Like you see your merchandise and other people, or people are like, oh, I saw my friend bought that. And I'm like, weird.
Yeah, like okay,
why?
thank you. Yeah.
Like our stuff is out there in the universe, and people actually wear it or hold it or want it
and appreciate it and like love it and like hang it up on their walls and everything that way. Yeah, so it's crazy feeling sometimes.
But we have said on this before as well that like if you make things that you like, that are true to you, your personality, your interests, whatever, and you put it out there, you'll find your people. Like they're out there.
That's what I do. Everyone's like, oh, how do you get your ideas? I'm like, I started out by wanting to make a teddy bear because I went to the stores and I couldn't find one. They all looked gross and cheap and just, like you go to Walmart and they're falling apart. And I'm like, I just couldn't find a bear. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it myself. So I went to the Dollar Tree, got like a little dollar sewing kit, some t-shirts, and started learning how to sew and just made my own toys, and I'm like, I always do it. I want to see either something that's inspired me or something that I haven't seen and I want to see it. Like if it's not made, I want to see it. Or if it's made, I want to see it and I want to do what I can do with it.
Yeah.
You know, you take something that's upcycled and turn it into something completely different and give it a whole new life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love it. The whole creative experience.
Do you have a piece that you've sold that you've kind of regretted selling that you like wanted to keep?
The one that got away.
Yeah.
There are so many. I do. I cry sometimes because I'm like, they're my babies and I don't want to give them away.
Each one is your baby.
Like, oh gosh, probably one of my folksodermy pieces. It was probably one of my biggest pieces that I did. It was a long time ago, but it was like one of the first like weird, obscure pieces that I made, and I was not really thinking of myself as an artist at the time, and I was just like, oh well, you like it, here, have it, you know. And now I'm like, wish I didn't get rid of it, but it's in a good home and they're happy with it, so that's
and
fine.
They appreciate it.
Yeah,
so,
like there are some times when I make stuff like there's like this ice cream crucifix that I'm working on that I'm almost finished with, and yeah, I don't really want to part with it, but I'm gonna make stickers or like a t-shirt design out of it or something. But like, yeah, so that piece I'm like reluctantly like not putting the last glaze on because I know once it's glazed I gotta price it. So the future pieces, there's always a future piece that I won't want to sell, but you know, reluctantly, I can't keep everything, and I just want someone to enjoy it and just be happy with it. So I can't just sit in a dusted basement. It needs to go and sit on a shelf and get someone else's dust.
Let's talk about your process from start to finish. So
we don't have enough time. What medium are we talking about?
Well, like, I mean, like most of your pieces about, let's say, how do you come up with the concept for that piece, and then what's its process to get to a show for you? How long does that usually take you?
Well, it depends. Like I said, it's jewelry. I just assembly line everything. I get the ideas. I get all my materials out, and I'll just like kind of piece it out together, and then just like eventually get everything done, and you know, just do it assembled. But it's, you know, those are little easy projects. When it's like a big art project, like if it's a custom plush that I have to design from scratch, it's usually like if it's a commission. My customers are really great, by the way. They really understand like that I am a weird creative processor, and it sometimes takes me 6 months. Sometimes it might take me a year. Sometimes it might take me 2 months. It just depends on the vibe. And they just give me an idea, an interpretation, things that they like, you know, things that they don't like, favorite color. And then they're like, I kind of want something like this or something that might have this and this. And then I can just take it from there and kind of like, you know, I get a price range of something so I can kind of keep it, you know, the sanity down. Because I'm like, if I don't have a price range, I'm just going to go crazy. And I never really charge for what the time and hours and stuff, because you never know. Yeah. Sometimes it takes me 10 minutes to create an idea, and sometimes it might take me 6 months after getting it initially. It always depends. The more inspiration I feel and that good vibe that I have from it, sometimes it might take me a day. But it's just a process. You have to go through your ideas, and then you go through your materials, and then sometimes you find materials that are, you know, when you're not working on the project, and it comes in and it brings a totally different light to it. So it just takes so much time. But major projects usually take, like if I have something planned out for an event, it'll take me, if it's like plush, it'll take me about a month to get everything ready, everything started, start to finish, design, prototyping, and then creating them all to be a little bit different. Because like I said, I always try to make everything original, because I always want each piece to be like the individual that buys it. No two things are alike. No two people are alike. No two people get drawn to the same thing for the same reason. So I always want everyone to feel like they're original, just like they're supposed to.
So let me go into the plushes, because you said for like holiday shows you like limit to like about 4 plushes limited for those, and you've got your fans that are like hounding for those, trying to get the pieces. When you come up with your concepts for those, what does that look like for you? Like, are you like, is it the mood that you're in at that point? Like, is it the like influence of the world, like what's around you, like
holidays, like if you're thinking about Christmas, usually you think about like it depends. Sometimes there's something going on, or like there's a new movie that's coming out that's like, you know, inspired by whatever. Like when they had Krampus out, that inspired me to make my own Krampuses. I'm like, oh, Krampus, cool, because, you know, creepy. There's just so much Santa. There's so much Rudolph. Like I can't do zombie deer. I needed something different. But yeah, so I decided to do these little Krampus plush that were part plush, and then they had a sculpted face, and that's what I went through. I wanted something cute, and I just decided from there like how I was going to do it. So I sketch everything out, and at that time before I got a tablet, I draw everything by hand. So I sketch out the idea, and then I color it, and then I'll use that as my template, and I just kind of go from there. You sculpt everything, you make the bodies, you just do everything proportionalized, and then, you know, accessories is always the fun part, you know, anything that you can craft and embellishment. I love details and everything, so there's always going to be extra details. It's not just going to be a head, legs, and arms. It's going to come with its little bag of screaming children. It's going to come with its little whip. It's going to come with its little chains and its little shackles. It's all about the details, because every time you look at something, pictures are great, but when you see my stuff in person, it's always, everyone's like, oh, it looks so much better.
It's completely different experience.
Like I can't take videos, no matter how professional video or photos I have. I can't zoom in. You know, I can't show you the fur. I can't
textures, the little embellishments, the little things.
And everything is hand sewn. So I don't use sewing machines. Everything is like every single tile, every single flip, every single ear is all hand sewn. And then you have to make sure that, you know, especially even if it's, you know, going to be on a shelf, they might be picked up by kids. They might be mishandled or anything like that. So you have to make them sturdy.
Yeah.
So it's like, no matter how much you want to do, you can't just whip through it. You have to make sure that everything is going to be sturdy and everything is going to be quality, because you don't want that beautiful memory that doesn't matter if it's 5 cents or if it's $500. You don't want something to happen to it. And it's just, it's all about the quality and the care. And I love my customers. So
you want it to be an heirloom piece.
Yeah,
that, like,
I want it to last.
Yeah, to last for that
1920s. Your grandma had that doll forever, and it still holds together. I mean, yeah, the eyeball might be broken off and the face might be chipped off,
but it's still all
but it's there.
Stuff is there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're not using hay for stuffed animals nowadays, but you know, I want everything to be quality, like I said, from a piece of jewelry to a plush. But that is the main part of it, is just making sure that whatever you're doing with the plushes, that you really get those details in and make sure that nothing is going to fall out or get damaged.
When you approach your bigger shows compared to more like the smaller local shows that you attend, is there a difference in mindset for how you are going to be presenting yourself there?
I really don't like big shows anymore.
Okay.
Just because you get swallowed up. Not even by the beautiful art that surrounds you or the other beautiful vendors and the wonderful crafts and the products that they have, but the events don't give about you. They don't care.
Yeah.
You're just a 6-foot table crammed in between 2 other 6-foot tables behind another row of tables that no one knows you're there. And you're putting out so much of yourself and so much of your money ahead of time to hope that you break even and hope that you get seen, even by the friends that are coming to see you if they can't find you.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, I like community.
Yeah.
And I like smaller shows because I know the vendors. I know the people that are putting it on. We're all in the same boat. We're all small business. We're all tiny little crafters in a great big world, and we give a crap about each other. Mm-hmm. I would rather do a small show than a big show, because you miss that. So whenever I get ready for a show, it's just, I mean, lately, ever since COVID, I've had a lot of anxiety. And going to shows has been really, really hard for me. And I've had to disappoint people, and I feel terrible about it. But I'm slowly getting over like whatever COVID did in my head. Not feeling so bad and realizing that everyone is my friend. And, so it's like trying to prepare for shows now is just realizing that this is my safe space. These are my people. Nothing's going to happen to me. If anything did happen, I have a people that will rally around me and make sure I'm okay. Like I had wind gust my whole table over at the last keto show that we did. And I had people help me and, you know, grab my stuff and made sure that they, you know, they helped me. My plush were soaked with beer and people were just great. And if I was at a show or a big convention, no one would have helped.
Yeah.
And that's important, is having those people, knowing that where you are is safe and comfortable and representative of who you are as a community and who you are as a person, to want to have that, because that's what you want to give. You want to feel better. Especially nowadays, you want to feel safe.
Yeah,
so absolutely. Getting ready for that. And just like I said, you know, realizing that you are my people and I am okay and I'm welcome. And regardless of my anxiety, like people understand and appreciate it still, even more so when I finally do get to come out.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah. I don't think we've done a show that we have had like a negative interaction with other vendors or like even the community that comes through to support the art, because they are like you are right. The community is there to support each other in that sense. And so like, we might not know the person who's booth next to us that like in the morning, but by the end of the day,
oh, you're besties.
Yeah, you know you have a new
best buddies ever.
There's the jokes going back and forth. There's like, hey, I like what you're doing. You're like what I'm doing. Hey, we want to trade like stuff.
Oh yeah, art trade is my favorite because we're all poor, but we all want stuff. So it's like, hey, do you see something that you like? Because I see something I like. I'm like,
and it's okay if you don't. It's totally fine. But I mean,
but most people do because everyone appreciates some new artsies and everyone likes a little prize at the end of the day, and you know, and then you get to, you know, get some cool new art.
Yeah, I always love coming home and like having a few new pieces, and I'm like, what wall is this going on?
Yeah,
what shelf am I
going to
gallery
walls.
I do. I'm like, I want that and that. I have that.
It's pretty
and
full.
It's like I don't have room, but I'm gonna appreciate this, and then I go find the frames for it.
Well,
and,
there's more
like,
wall space over there.
You make room. You find room.
This wall, I've already got some ideas and some plans. I think I'm gonna put a shelf across the top of our window that we have here, so we can get like more trinkety kind of things up there, and then there's some ideas.
I've seen art on the ceilings too.
I have seen the arts on the ceiling. Maybe.
I'm just saying, you know, just takes a couple extra screws, but there is potential. There's never enough shelving.
Yeah.
And there's never enough nails to hang stuff.
Yeah, so we're redoing our stairwell right now, and like I've just redid the stairs. We plan to put a bunch of like older frames and family photos, but like there will be some mixes. We have a couple pieces that we've set aside.
That's what I'm doing in my whole house too.
So we're like there, and then like the living room, like we haven't put too much up there since we got the place, because it's like, okay, we're gonna redo some things and we're gonna make a mess, so we don't want to put too much out. But like we kind of been like, okay, let's just put a little bit. Let's just do
but we can just do one thing there.
It's nice for you guys though, because you guys are like-minded about it. My sweet, wonderful boyfriend. He puts up with my maximalist Taurus self. If it wasn't for me, he'd have nothing on his side of the bed. Like he would have nothing in his office, because I'm like, let me show you my love by buying crap. And he's like, baby, he's like, you don't have to buy me anything. I'm like, pshaw, nonsense. I'm like, you have to be just as maximum as me, because I have like frames everywhere in my vintage toys and VHS, like, because it inspires me. So like the more I'm surrounded by it, the happier I am. Yeah. He's so gracious. Like his whole house, like if we ever move it, I'll need a moving truck for my stuff. He can put his stuff in 2 boxes. He's done. Yeah.
Well, when we moved initially, we fit everything in Christy's car, my car, and then I bought a trailer. And we left furniture behind. We just are like, we need the sewing machines. We need the drill presses. We need all the tools. We can buy a sofa.
We can get a new bed. We can get a new TV. Like we don't need any of that stuff.
But like all our crates of fabric are like bins of nuts and bolts and odds and ends. We need that stuff. So we like had packed all that. And we're like, we'll figure out the rest of it. But now I'm like, we've been building this space out for the past few years, and it's like, oh man, I don't know if we can move again. This is gonna be
you're stuck
really
here
hard.
Permanent.
Yeah.
No,
there's a lot more things here than the first place, and it's like, oh no.
You thought the walls were the only thing you had to worry about covering up. No. It's the shelving units full of stuff. Yeah, like art supplies build up.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
like. That's not trash. That's not card. That's not recycling. That's art cardboard.
We did not need more markers or watercolor markers.
Sure, you did. Because you misplaced the first two, so you couldn't find them, so you had to replace them.
No.
Well, that's my problem.
We have a drawer that's labeled markers, and all the markers go in there, and everything's organized nicely in that sense. But then we were at the store and like, oh, we don't have that set of markers. Should we get
this style of marker? And it's like $5 for this
whole
set of markers.
See, I wish it was markers. Mine's like jars and books and boxes and containers.
I have there's a shelf of jars.
500 ceramics. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to purge just a little.
Our neighbor was clearing out
like
ceramic casting molds, and they were just putting them on the curb and had free and everything. So I walked over there with a dolly and I just started piling them up.
That was after
I've never done ceramics, so let's just be clear. So I'm like, why do I need these?
That was after we got home from the grocery store, because what first happened was we were leaving our house to go grocery shopping, and we drove by and we went, well, we can't keep driving by, so we stopped and we put some in the back of the car. Then we got home from the grocery store, unloaded those from the car, and then he took the dolly over and got more. and then the following weekend they put out more, so I went and got more.
I mean, it's
never done ceramics.
You never know. You never know. It's an impulse thing. That's why I'll buy a bolt of fabric. No need for it. No desire, but it was on sale.
Well, I mean,
if it's at the thrift store.
But
thrift
6 years later, I find a use for it.
Yeah.
Like I buy some random bolt of something or some little bag of like beads, and I'm like, I'm never gonna use that.
Well,
and then I find some random project that I never would have used it for, and I'm like, I'm so glad I have.
And then
these.
it just validates in your brain. I did the right.
That's. I swear.
I'm the same way.
I absolutely get it.
Bag of shredded money from the U.S. Treasury I found at DI for $1, and I'm like, I'm gonna use it for something.
That would be great for art at some point.
Right?
I don't know what point I'm going to use it.
Who cares? It's just something unique.
It's sitting there. But it's like, it was $1. I mean,
that's what you know. What you do? You just
see.
Get little glass vials. You put a couple little strands in there, and just get a little tag that says "money to blow" and just give it to people. That way, when they're having a really great day, they can just smash it.
That's very clever.
I'm just saying, it's a use for it.
Tree, like money tree seeds.
Yeah. Oh, that
would be cute.
All
right, we're brainstorming here. Let's go.
This is why I like hanging out with artsy people, because stuff flows.
It justifies our crazy.
It does. It's not crazy. It's craft supplies. It's always craft supplies. Everyone needs another jar, and everyone needs a bag full of shredded money.
We can't all be crazy, so clearly we're all very sane and
exactly. Yes. Something in the water.
I want to hit back on the market scene a little bit and talk a little bit about you mentioned it early. You look back on the first photo from your first show and see that table and that progression to where you are now. What is the biggest thing that stands out for you that where you've progressed to?
Displays.
Okay.
Upward displays. Getting stuff off my table and giving it height. Getting places where I can put more nooks and crannies. I went from having jewelry displayed on a little rag on my table to now having 2 spindles full of
hanging
hanging and making it all just making it look more professional. Make me feel like I'm more of an adult that knows what they're doing. I really have no idea what I'm doing. I'm slapping things that I think look okay together and just being like, that's pretty.
Well, it seems like it's working because people are coming in and buying and supporting and going.
Well, the thing is it's something. The colors. It's it's the shock and awe, especially for little kids. That's what I do. I lure the little children, and the parents have to follow, and then the parents see the nostalgic stuff. There's a little hocus pocus going on in the tent. Not saying nothing.
Crocus pocus.
A little bit. I do love that shirt. I love anything that hops. I love frogs and bunnies, obviously. Your shirt being the the jackalope is my symbol. So, but yeah, it's the color. It's making sure that my displays are kind of muted, because at first I was doing rainbow blankets and colorful things, and my art was getting lost because my art is rainbow and then my stuff was rainbow. So now everything is just black and purple and wood. So everything that's bright and colorful and poppy stands out, and it's not distracting.
Yeah. So that's been your progression, and just kind of getting more into
making it more visibly appealing. Because it's just like when you go into a candy shop, you don't want to be distracted by what it's in. You want to see what it is. So it's like the more that I can display what I have openly and widely, the better. That's just my main thing. Like I started out with grid wall and junked that. And it's, just with the tent, it just makes it easier to be able to hang different types of different things. And then having the stuff stacked up on different shelving units that I have. And then like the carousel of plush, it makes it so much easier. Because you only, half the time I do events, I split my table with Erica from Bone and Wear. Just because it's just better to have a buddy system.
Yeah.
So I only have a 6-foot table. Normally we do a 10-foot spot and you just don't have it. So I've learned to just do the 6-foot table. And then when I do, I can go bigger. But, just learning how to stabilize that and have it like pull people in and catch the eye, but with different setups for different show scenarios, especially because if it's windy, you don't want to bring certain things like stickers and prints and stuff. So you have to kind of think about that, getting a booklet for the heavy, for the windy shows so they can look through the book instead of having them fly all over. Same thing with the stickers.
Yeah.
So it's just, you just have to know your shows. You have to know your seasons, and then just have different ways to display for those shows to make sure you don't lose your stuff.
I will 100% I feel the same exact way about like what we are learning from doing the shows, like how our like even just our sticker boards, trying to figure out our best way that makes sense for people to like see the stickers. And we're like, well, that show only sold 2 stickers. What did we do wrong? Did we have it in the wrong place? Are our stickers displayed properly? And so like we've been trying different things, but every show it feels like we've changed just a little bit and adapt something.
You always figure out little things that work for you and you tweak it.
Yeah, and then you like walk around and see other people like, oh, that was smart to put rubber bands across these. Oh, look, that's not going to let the earrings fly away in the wind,
a lot of
people,
and it's cool because a lot of people that you like that are starting out shows or anything like when Squee was started out and they were there, they were just asking me questions like randomly. We were just talking about art one day, and they weren't doing anything. They were just like, well, maybe we could. I'm like, yeah, you can. I'm like, sell what you have now. And they're like, oh, we don't know. I'm like, do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Whenever you see the potential for someone to be creative and they doubt themselves, you always push them.
Yeah.
Always. Like, I don't, nope. You have to do it. But it's good because like when you get to meet the new people, you get to see the new things. And it's like you bounce ideas off each other, not just artistically and not just, for projects and stuff like your money. But like the different things that we're going to display with, like me and Erica bounce off our stuff all the time. Like we do it together. So it's like, she'll look at my table and I'll look at hers and be like, well, how do you think about that goes there and this goes there? And then she does like, she'll come up with something else and like, we'll get a different tray system for her because the original wasn't working. And we'll just evolve each other's stuff. That way you're not questioning yourself because you have like a buddy. You know what you mean. You guys are doing it together and you're like, well, how do you like that? And 2 eyes are always better, to have on a project and stuff. But it's really good that you can have that community again that will help you, and especially if something falls over,
Absolutely.
So because again, we're in that community focused topic, market topic with it. The big shows are not the things you want to do anymore. You want to be in a smaller community kind of thing. When new shows pop up or old shows go away and you have to find new things to be in, how do you go about knowing that that's going to be kind of the right choice for that weekend? Because last weekend there was 20 shows going on Saturday, 20 shows going on Sunday. You can't be at every single one. How do you kind of pick and choose some of those shows?
Sometimes it's just, you just got to kind of just toss your hat in. It's a lot of the times when I pick shows or I know about, it's me hearing about shows from somebody else. I am very bad on social media. I really need to post more and do more. I got terribly lazy. I just started focusing on art and forgetting all about the posting and the adulting I had to do. But yeah, it's the shows I find out are through word of mouth. Like people are like, oh, are you doing this show? Where did you hear about this? Or they're looking for artists, or this, like this show's coming around again. And you hear about it. It's like I said, it's all about community. It's always hearing it from somebody else. I don't really do a lot of social media hunting because it burns me out.
Yeah.
And I want to save my focus for my art and myself and my house and my puppies and, like all the things that matter to me. And as much as I want to do that posting stuff, I'll get back into it. But yeah, it's all word of mouth. It's people, it's friends, it's people that are wanting to see you do a certain show that you haven't done before. They're like, hey, have you done this show? I haven't seen you here. Have you heard about it? And then you talk to the owners, and sometimes you can, like you can get into a really cool spot and it just works for you. And sometimes it's a one show, and it's everything is a good experience, even if it's a bad show and you make $5, or if it's a great show and you make 1,000. You never know. It could be bad, weather. It could be weather situations. If it's an outdoor I've literally had shows in the pouring rain and got horribly sick afterwards, but it was one of my best shows because I met some really great people and made really good contacts that are still around. So it's
those kind of shows like that, like create that bond, that unique bond that you don't get at every single show, because you're like, you guys all survived that show.
It's trauma survival. It really is. You do, like, you'll go through the elements and the rude people and the customers and the heat. In this, I don't do a lot of you've seen. I don't do a lot of summer shows or spring shows. I can't do the heat. I'm not from here. I will never acclimate to the desert. I have tried. I literally roast and die and cry. So it's fall or early spring or nothing, because it's just too much. But yeah, it's the local. It just all depends. My favorite shows are the ones that I've been doing. Like, I have the spook shows that I try to get to every year. Bleached and Bewitched with the Beehive. They do some really great shows there. Iconoclad used to do some really cool shows. They do them every once in a while. I'm really kind of hoping they go back, because I love my Iconoclad community. It's the first store that I was here that gave me support to be an artist there. So would love to do those. But yeah, it's a vibe, you'll feel it. Especially if you have the chance to go to the show beforehand, and just check it out and see how you feel when you go. Like when you go, like the Salt Lake flea market, the punk rock flea market, you go and you check it out and you be like, oh, is this my vibe? And you feel a vibe of the show. You feel a vibe of the people and the energy and the vendors, and or you don't.
That is still one of our favorite shows to do. We haven't done one since February of this past year.
I'm bad. I'm so bad. She's asked me so many times, and it's not, like I said, my anxiety has crippled me, and I cry about it. Like, I'll have to cancel a show, and I'll cry and be like, I'm stupid. I should have gone. But Darcy's always so great, and she's always like, hey, whenever you're ready, whenever your tum-tum says you can do it, I'd love to have you back. And that show is just one of my favorite places to be.
It is. Yep. It is one of those like communities that is so awesome, so supportive. It was our first show we've ever done was there, and like everyone was just so welcoming. So like, and just, and then now it's like we've made lifetime friends with people that are there. Yep. So it's
community.
Exactly. And so that's one of our favorites for sure.
So switching gears just a little bit, we've talked about the community art, where you've come from. Where are you headed? What does the future look like for your art and for your business? If you have any plans, if you have any pie in the sky dreams.
Well, because of my anxiety and not being able to go to every show that I want to, and feeling that like that impending dread of letting people down, I want to open a website. So, but the problem is I am not very tech savvy. Like, I know how to learn. I've been learning digital, and I know how to use my phone, and I can use a tablet and stuff. But as far as like online stuff goes, I don't know where I want to go. I need to find a website that is good for my customers, that's not going to charge so much like for anything that I need to do. Like, I want to be able them to buy my stuff. I want to be able to ship it, and I want them to not have to worry about fees or middleman or anything else. And I don't want it to kill my bank, because I need to be able to make money, but I don't know. So if anyone knows, if anyone has a website that they would love, or, that works for them, that would be absolutely great. 'Cause I'm thumbs. I just don't want to hurt my customers. I don't want to hurt people that want to shop for me and have it be a bad experience, and have it be a stressful experience for me to try to figure it out, and have it cost me an arm and a leg every month, because I don't have thousands of dollars and hundreds of dollars to put into paying someone to mess up my stuff. I just want something that's, simple and easy, that I can put my art on. It can be seen. And that way the people that aren't local when I can get to shows, people from far away can buy it. Like I've had people from Europe and Africa and Canada and Alaska, you know, and I want to continue to do that because now that I don't have an Etsy, because I refuse to work with Etsy. I haven't had a shop in like 6 years, which is sad because I used to love it. And it was how I made a lot of my sales. I used to sell vintage toys on there too. And I can't do that anymore. eBay, can't. PayPal, fees, you know, it's just, it's messy. Like everybody needs money. And I get that. And I try to price my stuff accordingly, but it's all about the website for me right now. I just want to be able to have access to be able to reach people and, you know, give them the food that they want, you know, and be like, oh, when is that available? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just have stuff sitting there and I want to be able to get it out there to people. I want people to be able to enjoy it when, unfortunately, I can't make it out. And it's a problem for me because I don't want to let people down. And I feel like every time I come out and I get excited and I post, people are like, oh, you didn't come. And they get sad and I get texts and I'm like, I'm a bad artist. But yeah,
it's that kind of spiral effect.
It is because I always want to make people happy. That's my joy. Like money, you need it to make more art, but that's it. I need money to make more art so I can make more art.
Well, so if anyone has recommendations, put them in the comments for FooFoo online.
I need
make it happen.
I need something that'll help me help you. But yeah, like I just a website. I want to get better back at posting and making videos. So I got my little neck video thing so I can start taking videos of me actually making my stuff. My boyfriend's been trying to get me to do it for years. And I keep on telling him that he has great ideas and then I never follow through because I'm a chicken. And I'm terrified of cameras and I'm terrified of my own voice. So
well, look how amazing you're doing. You're doing amazing.
Yeah, I probably won't watch the video because the sound of my own voice will be shrill. I'll just send it to all my friends and be like, here, you watch this for me. But yeah, that's a fear. So getting over my digital fears in the near future and just getting more time to make what I want. Like I make what I have to because it's what, you know, people like it and they come, the tried and true stuff that I make. But I want to have like time to do like bigger projects that like salivate my soul and like, you know, like really make me happy. And I love art and I love everything I do. But I want to make like bigger pieces, my big statement pieces that everyone's like, oh, I want it. And I'm like, I'm not selling it because I'm never making another one. But I want to have that time to be able to make those projects so I can share them and do bigger things.
Yeah.
With those bigger projects, what is your like favorite medium to work in?
Depends on the day, depends on the mood. Like right now it's painting, tomorrow will be sculpture. I love them all. It is. It's really, I am a eclectic spirit. So it all depends on my mood. It's the season, it's the mood, it's the vibe. It's what I have on hand. Sometimes I'll be working on a painting and I'll be really into painting. And then for some random reason, I'll go look for a brush in my room and I'll see something else and I'll be like, painting and start sculpting. But if I had to pick of all of them, probably have to say sewing. Sewing plush because it's the most versatile for me. I can make anything that I can just imagine. And that always inspires me to try to push myself and do more because, you know, I'm a detail beep. But yeah, I love details. So it always pushes me more to try to see how articulated I can get something or how more detailed or how much more, you know, life I can give to something instead of just having it be flat, 2 eyes, a nose, and just have it no dimension.
Yeah. And again, you're doing that all by hand.
Yeah. I have a sewing machine. A wonderful friend of mine gave me one and I used it once and I wanted to chuck it against the wall, but it was really heavy. So I just put it in my garage. But yeah, I know they say once you learn how to use it, it's like boom, 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 boom. But like I use like 6 different color threads for like one plush. So just being able to whip it through my needle and just, you know, get it through. And then when it's done, like if you miss up on the machine and you don't have that bobbin thread and you miss it, you lose all of that. So you're all from start to one.
Okay,
It's just,
so
it seems like I feel like I waste more time with a machine, and I'm way quicker when it comes to like the small details I do. I don't make quilts. I don't do t-shirts. I don't have straight lines.
Yeah.
That's for sewing machine that I get.
I was going to say, you just need 6 sewing machines with 6 different color
Well,
threads.
yeah, sure. Yeah, because I have so much space. I'm going to build a tunnel under my house and just build a little sewing machines there. But yeah, I like everything by hand. Everything is the tiniest needle or the tiniest paintbrush or the tiniest little dot of, everything is just as precise detail as possible.
So I like to ask this of all artists on, and sometimes I forget, but is there a tool that like you could not make your art without?
My hands. Because it's all handmade, hand sculpted, hand painted, hand sewn, hand chewed. I don't chew on anything really. Actually, no, that's not true. I chew on my cookies to get the perfect bite, but I bake them, so all my all of my germs are gone. I Lysol them afterwards and stuff. But yeah, no. My hands, absolutely.
All right. So I don't think you're gonna believe me, but we're coming up on our hour already of having this.
I believe you. I feel exhausted. Exhausted. I love hearing you guys talk, but hearing me talk is exhausting.
But I want to make sure everybody out there who is listening that don't know you already, who aren't following you, where can they find more information about what Jenni FooFoo is doing out there in the world?
Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, pretty much anywhere there is media right now. I have it. Again, as I said earlier in this, I am terrible at posting. I'm terrible. I've been posting a lot to my Facebook page, my art page, The Art of Jenni FooFoo. I do have to get in, like I said, I got my little neck thing to watch videos. So I'm going to try to start doing like my work along with me videos and start trying to do that on TikTok and, maybe disguise my face or something or my voice. But, and then Instagram, I have a lot of stuff, and that is a lot of my repeat art that I'm constantly making. I will again start posting there more frequently now that I have a lot of bulk of my art that I want to throw up. But yeah, those are the 3 main places that I have right now until I get a website, and then we'll have to add that onto the list.
And it's all at Jenni FooFoo, right? JENNI
_FOOFOO.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Jenni, thank you so much for taking the time, the courage, and being part of this whole conversation with us. Because, the conversation we had at the booth was awesome. And so, we wanted to share it with everyone else who might be listening to this.
Thanks.
So
I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Is there anything else we missed that you want to potentially talk about or anything like that on this episode?
No, you guys were great. Like I said, I just wanted to come in here and I didn't want to know anything. I just wanted to wing it and see where the day took us.
That's how we're doing it. We're just winging it.
I love it. That's how all the best art is made.
So guys, thank you for watching again. Go check out what Jenni FooFoo is doing on all her social platforms. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. And we will see you guys on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye guys.